Hi, welcome to my video on factor ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not 1 and a is not a GCF. But this video is going to be on GCF first. We always factor with the GCF first. So this is part 4 of the factoring the trinomial that has a constant or a number in front of the x squared. Factor each completely, and we'll do the GCF first. The GCF first is I call it the first rule in factoring. In other words, if somebody asks me to factor something, I'll always look for the GCF first and remove it. Here we go. Let's do some examples. Is it in descending order? X squared, x, and a constant. Perfect. I see a 0, so I see a 10 as the GCF. So I'll take a 10 out. 20, x squared divided by 10 is 2x squared. 50x divided by 10 is a plus 5x. And 20 divided by 10 is 2. So notice I took the 10 out, making the values of a, b, and c smaller. If you look back here, the a would have been 20, b would have been 50, c would have been 20, and the product would have been a times c, which would have been 400. So getting the factors of 400 that will add up to give you a 50 would be a little bit harder, longer to do. You do it, but it takes longer time. But taking out the GCF of whatever it is makes the a, b, and c values smaller. The product is a times c. The sum is b. So the product, a is 2 and c is 2. So the product is 4. And the sum is b. B is 5. So the factors of 4 are 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Because the product is a positive 4, that means the factors are going to add up to give you a 5. So if you add 2 and 2, you get a 4. So 1 and 4 adds up to give you 5. So the factors are 1 times 4. And check, 1 times 4 is 4, product. 1 plus 4 is 5. So 1 and 4 are the right factors. So we're going to take those factors and replace them, a 1 with an x and a 4 with an x, because those two factors are put in the middle, because when you add 1x and 4x you get a 5x. So I have to put those factors and put an x with each of them. Now I have 4 terms, so I'll keep the big brackets there just to show you I'm going to do the inside of this. So I'll underline the 2 pairs. In the first 2, I have an x common, so I take the x out. So 2x squared divided by x is 2x, and 1x divided by x is plus 1. And I got a positive here, so write it down. And I see 4 and 2. 2 is common. 4x divided by 2 is 2x, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. Keep bringing down to 10. And I have a binomial GCF, which is 2x plus 1. Write that down. And what's left in this expression is an x. And what's left in this one is a plus 2. Remember, you're dividing each of these expressions by x plus 1, 2x plus 1. So what's left is an x and a plus 2. And now, not to have all these brackets, so these brackets are only put in to help you distinguish working out the inside here. So remove those big brackets and you get 10 bracket 2x plus 1 and x plus 2. That's the complete factorization of this polynomial. Sorry, yes, polynomial, but it's got 3 terms, so it's factorization of the trinomial. And we have descending order of 3, 2, and 1. And I see there's no number common, but there is a variable of x. So x is the GCF, remove it, because that's a 1. The smallest exponent is in the larger one. So 6x cubed divided by x is 6x squared. x squared divided by x is x, and a negative x divided by x is negative 1. You have 3 terms, so you have to have 3 in here. And let's continue. The product is a times c, the sum is b, and in this trinomial, a is 6, c is negative 1. The product is negative 6. The sum is b, b is plus 1. So the factors of 6 are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Notice the product is negative 6. Being a negative, that means the signs are going to be plus and minus. If the signs are plus and minus because of the product is negative, then I'm going to subtract the factors to get a 1. We're subtracting them. Notice up here, the product was positive, so we added them up. Here the product is negative, so we're subtracting. 1 subtract 6 is 5. Nope. So it has to be a 2 and a 3. But because the product is negative, I have to have 1 plus and 1 minus. And the sum is 1, so that means I got a negative 2 plus 3. If you got a negative and positive, whatever the sign of the sum is, that's the sign of the larger. So we take the negative 2 and the 3 and move it in between the negative 1 and the 6x squared. So negative 2x plus 3x. They will add together to give you the 1. And now we break it up into 2 pairs. In the first pair, I see a 2 and an x. So 2x is the GCF. 6x squared divided by 2x is 3x. Negative 2x divided by 2x is negative 1. And I have a plus, whatever this sign is, that's what goes there. And I see 3 and 1 have no GCF, there's no x, so the GCF is always a 1 if there isn't any, so we take out the 1. So 3x divided by 1 is 3x. 1 divided by 1 is negative 1. And there's the big bracket. The binomial GCF is 3x minus 1. And when we divide 3x minus 1 into this expression, we get a 2x. And we divide 3x minus 1 into this expression, we get a plus 1. And now we move the big brackets. We don't need them. There it is. Factorization of the trinomial. C. Now we always check for descending order. X squared, x constant, perfect. And this time I have a negative, so I never have a negative. I'll remove the negative, and I see a 9. The smallest number here is a 9. There's no 9 in 21, but there is a 3, so I'll take out a 3. There's a 3 in 21, there's a 3 in 16, there's a 3 in 9. So negative 21, x squared divided by negative 3 is 7x squared. Negative 60x divided by negative 3 is a plus 20x. 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. And let's continue. Product is AC. Sum is B. A is 7. C is negative 3. That's a negative 21. Sum is B. B is 20. So the sum is 20. So we're looking for the factors of 21. 1 times 21. I always do 1 in that number first. 21 got a 3 times a 7. 7 is prime, 3 is prime, so there's no more. The product is negative, so the factors are going to differ to give you 20. So this is the one that differs to give you 20. 3 and 7 differ by 4, so they're no good. So I got a 1 times 21. But because the product is negative, it means that the factors are going to be plus and minus. So I got a negative 1 and a plus 21. Multiply. Negative 21. Add 20. So these are the two correct factors. So negative 3, 7x squared, minus 3. So these two factors are going to go in with an x. So negative 1x plus 21x. So these two factors go in here with an x. If you add them up, you get plus 20. And negative 3 is out there. And then divide them into two, split them into two pairs. The first two I have an x, take it out. 7x squared divided by x is 7x, and negative 1x divided by x is negative 1. I have a plus here, so the plus goes down, and I see a 3 as a GCF. 21x divided by 3 is 7x. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. Negative 3, big brackets. The binomial GCF, yep, is 7x minus 1. If you take that out of this expression, you get an x left. If you take it out of here, you get a plus 3 bracket. And so the big brackets are not necessary. Remember, I only put these big brackets in to distinguish working on the inside. So remove this bracket and this one, and you get 7x minus 1, x plus 3. D, we have a fraction. So the best way to handle a fraction is to express each term with the same denominator. So the LCD is 2. So 2 over 1 becomes 4 over 2, because you multiply by 2 over 2. X squared, 9 over 2x, negative. And another name for 1 is 2 over 2. So all denominators are now the same. So if I look at the fraction, the denominator is 2, 2, 2, so 2 is common on the bottom. And the top has got a 4, a 9, and a 2. So the GCF up the top is 1. So I'm going to take out a half. So a half coming out, you get a 4x squared. Take a half out of here, you get a 9x, what you're doing. And you take a half out of here, you get a 2. Notice you're taking away your denominator of 2, and your numerator stays 4, negative 9, and 2. So that's, and we had the GCF taken out of a half. And now we factor. Product is A times C, sum is B. So A is 4, C is 2, product is 8, and the sum is B, which is a negative 9. Now we got to look at the factors of 8. 1 times 8, 2 times 4. Product is positive, so that means its factors are adding up to give you a 9. So 2 and 4 adds up to 6. The answer is 1 and 8. We got 1 and 8, but the product is positive, right? But the sum is negative. So the two signs are the same, so I have to have a negative 1 and a negative 8. Multiply those two, you get 8. Add those two, you get negative 9. So we take those two numbers and we move them inside the brackets in the middle. So negative 1x minus 8x plus 2. So those two factors go in the middle, and they should put an x with each one of them, put an x with this one, an x with this one, and they should add to give it a negative 9. Now you group them into two pairs. You get a half, big bracket. So x is common here, so we take an x out. We get a 4x minus 1. And we got a negative here, so we take the negative out. And we see negative 2 is common. So negative 8x divided by negative 2 is 4x. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. We got a half. And the big bracket, the binomial GCF is perfect. This is 4x minus 1. And in the first expression, 4x minus 1 much left is x. And the second one much left is negative 2. That's what we're doing, dividing, but I'm saying much left. Take the big brackets away, so I have a half bracket, 4x minus 1, x minus 2. Notice I'm taking these brackets away. They're only there to help you organize. And we have some more to do, but these are, now that I showed you a pattern for this, you pause the video and work these out. Do one at a time. If you get them right, perfect. If you don't, check it, see where you went wrong. And is in descending order perfect, but the GCF of 24, 52, and 20 is 2 is not large enough, so the GCF is 4. 20, there's 20 got a 10 and a 5, but there's no 10 and 5 here, so we try a factor of 20 is 4. Smallest number is 20, so 4 is GCF. 20 divided by 4 is 5, x squared. 52 divided by 4 is 13, x. Negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 6. Product is A times C. Sum is B. A is 5. C is negative 6. Product is negative 30. The sum is B, which is 13. So we're looking at the factors of 30. So 1 times 30. It's even, so it's 2 times 15. I see a 0, so I see a 10. So 10 and 30 goes 3. I also see a 10, so there's a 5 there. So 5 into 30 goes 6. Hopefully I have them all. So the factors, the product is negative, so the factors are going to be a plus and a minus, so that means they differ by 13. No. Yep, there they do. They differ by 13. So 2 times 15. But these two, one of them is positive and one of them is negative. So the sum is positive, so that means the larger one is positive. Smaller one is negative. Multiply. Negative 30. Add 13. So we take these two factors and we negative 2x plus 15x. And we now split them into two pairs. And in the first pair, we have x is common, GCF, 5x, and a minus 2. So we divide x into both of these to get 5x minus 2. We have a plus here at the beginning, so we take a plus. GCF is 3 between 15 and 6. 15x divided by 3 is 5x. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Large bracket. And the common binomial GCF is 5x minus 2. If you take 5x minus 2 out here, you get an x left. If you take it out of this expression, you get a plus 3. And remove the big bracket, so we got 4 times 5x minus 2 times x plus 3. And how'd you do? Hopefully everything is going well. Hope the pattern I'm establishing will be used later on in the math courses and the topics and units later. What you learn early, you keep using it over and over and over. So practice makes perfect. Do you have descending order? Yes. 4, 3, 2. I see a negative. I see a 10. There's no 10 in here, but I see a 5 as in 45 and a 5 in 45. So we take a 5 out. And there's an x in every term. So when there's an x in every term, you take the smallest exponent, which is a 2. And negative 10x to the 4 divided by negative 5x squared is 2x squared. Negative 45x cubed divided by negative 5x squared is a plus 9x. Negative 45x squared divided by negative 5x squared is a plus 9. And we have a product, which is AC. We have a sum, which is B. So A is 2. C is 9. 2 times 9 is 18. And the sum is B, and B is 9. So the factors of 18, 1 times 18 is even, so it's 2 times 9. 9 got a 3, so 3 and 18 goes 6. Because the product is positive, I will add up the factors to get a 9. They add up to 19. They add up to 11. So 3 and 6 are the factors. And because the product is positive, then I'm going to have 2 pluses or 2 minuses. So I'm going to have sum is plus, so it's 2 pluses. Check. 3 times 6, 18. 3 plus 6, 9. Now we take those two factors and put them in the middle. It's 3x plus 6x plus 9, done. And I split them into two pairs. So factoring by grouping was extremely important. There's a pattern. You're reviewing. Notice you're reviewing, doing the GCF and etc., dividing. A good way to do factoring the ax squared plus bx plus c when a is not a GCF and not 1. Remove the x, GCF. 2x squared divided by x is 2x. 3x divided by x is plus 3. I have whatever that sign is there, that's what that one is. I take now the negative 3. 3 is a GCF. 6x divided by 3 is 2x. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And negative 5x squared, there's the big bracket. Binomial GCF is 2x plus 3. If you take the 2x plus 3 out of this expression, you get an x left. If you take it out of here, you get a plus 3 left. And the final answer, write it up neater. Remember, these brackets you can drop. So it's 2x plus 3 and x plus 3. Factored fully. Number 3, we have a fraction. So we need to get the LCD. The LCD for 2 and 6 is 6. So that means you make all numbers as a denominator 6. So one way is 2 into 6 goes 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Or you could multiply by 3 over 3. 7 over 6 is okay. And negative 1 is the same as 6 over 6. So negative 1 is a negative 6 over 6. And the denominator has a common denominator of 6. That's a factor. But the numerator has only a 1. 3 and 7 have nothing in common, so therefore 1 is the GCF for the numerators. So we have 3x squared minus 7x minus 6. We're taking out the 6 at the bottom, so we get the 3, negative 7, negative 6. Product is a times c, sum is b. So a is 3, c is negative 6, negative 18. The sum is negative 7. Factors of 18 are 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and 9 got a 3, so it's 3 times 6. So the product is negative, so the factors are going to differ by 7. No, here's the 2 that differ by 7. These two differ by 3. So I have a 2 times 9. But the product is negative, so one is a plus and one is a minus. Since the sum is negative, it has to be a positive 2 and a negative 9. Multiply. Negative 18. Add. Negative 7. So 1 over 6. 3x squared. Plus 2x. Subtract 9x. Plus 2x. Subtract 9x. Minus 6. And check. Do they add together to give you negative 7x? Yes. And we break it up into two terms. So we have x is common, so 3x squared divided by x is 3x. 2x divided by x is plus 2. There's a negative there, so we write down the negative. And we see a 3 as a GCF. Negative 9x divided by negative 3 is 3x. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is a plus 2. 1/6. And the binomial GCF, excuse me, is 3x plus 2. And what's left is an x minus 3. And we take away the big brackets, write it down better. 6 times 3x plus 2, x minus 3. And one more to do. First rule is make sure you're going to factor, it's got to be in descending order. So it's not. So I got to put 16x squared first, plus 22x minus 6. That's the order x. Ax squared plus bx plus c. I see a negative, so I'm going to take that out. Smallest factor is 6, so 6 is not a factor of 16, but they're all even, so 2 is a factor. So negative 2 we'll take as a factor. Negative 16 divided by negative 2 is 8x squared. 22 divided by negative 2 is a negative 11x. Negative 6 divided by negative 2 is plus 3. Product is AC. Sum is B. A is 8. C is 3. That gives me a 24. The sum is B. B is a negative 11. So what are the factors of 24? 1 times 24, 2 times 12. I see a 3, so 3 into 24 goes 8. 12 has a 6, so 6 into 24 goes 4. I think we have them all. 4 got a 2, but the 2 is here. 8 got a 4, 4 is here. Yep. And the product is positive, so they will add up to give you 11. That's 25. That's 14. This is the right pair. That gives you 11 when you add. So I have a 3 times 8. But the product is positive, so that means the two signs are the same. So to add up to give you a negative 11, got to be a negative 3 and a negative 8. Multiply 24. Add negative 11. So we take those two factors of negative 3, put an x with it, take the negative 8 and put an x with it, plus 3. Notice they add perfect to give you a negative 11. And now we, two terms, two, do them in pairs. X is the GCF of the first two. We get an 8x minus 3. We have a negative 8. We have a negative here, so a negative goes there. And there's nothing common between 8 and 3, only a 1. So let's put negative 1. So negative 8x divided by negative 1 is 8x. And a plus 3 divided by negative 1 is a negative 3. So that's negative 2, big bracket. The binomial GCF, two of them are the same. So we take an 8x minus 3 out. And what's left is an x and a minus 1. And to tidy it up, remove those big brackets, take them away. So we get negative 2 times 8x minus 3 and x minus 1. So factoring, always put it in descending order and always remove the GCF. It makes the factoring easier when you take the GCF out. Smaller numbers deal with. If you like my video, click on the like button. If you're not a subscriber, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to write a comment, you may do so. And visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com. And my me section talks about my degrees and teaching experience. The section on videos talks about the strategies you're going to use to help you learn your math. And the content section has the topics and the number of videos on those topics online on my YouTube channel, Math Fully Explained. And the black font is what's online right now, and the red font is what will be there in the near future. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.